Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to our Autocad tutorial. This is the third and final part of the buildings module chapter we were doing. The first video covered how to draw your floor plan. The second video went into how to draw your roof plan. And in this third video, we're gonna cover how to essentially draw your elevation, or if it's required, how to draw a sectional elevation. So on here, if you can see on screen, we have a completed floor plan and it has a section AA. So this means you are essentially cutting this house where point AA is, and you are looking in the direction of the arrow. If the arrow was facing up, then it means you would section it and you would draw what comes on this side. But now we are going to focus on what comes below. Alright, so on this video I'll be showing you how to construct or how to create your sectional elevation easier. Right, so as I always say, remember, here's our original floor plan, so don't worry about messing it up. Remember, I normally create copies, and here's our roof plan. Okay, so here's our sectional plan. So what I can do, or what you can do, is to copy your roof plan back to the one you're going to use. It doesn't really change much. It's just to make sure that you don't miss the roof details when you get to the sectional part. Then I'm just gonna copy the whole thing, place it here. I think the copy command might be my actual favorite command. Then I'm just gonna get rid of this because I'm not gonna be using it for now. And then the very first thing I'm gonna do, essentially, you're trying to represent your lines, right? I'm just gonna pan this so I have a bit of space to work, or you can zoom all the way, it doesn't really matter. What layer am I on? Let's specify a new exciting layer. We can say construction lines. And I want us to give it, like a dodgy color, but not all the way dodgy, just somewhere in between. Okay, let's try purple. It's not dodgy, it's a bit exciting. That's fine. Then we can make it center lines as well, or hidden detail. That's fine. Then we're moving on. We can close that completely. So we can say line. You just need to remember what your lines are actually for. Okay, you can just draw one, then offset or copy it from that point on. Can be as long or as short as it. Oh, I didn't make that layer current. Siswena, I didn't make it current. This is to me, not to you. So you'll fetch me in the comments. Sure. Okay, so now we have our line. And essentially what you can do is copy this line to all the points that you will need to essentially create a section from. So if you were in EGD or in drawing one, or if you're doing this manually with a drawing board and a paper and a pencil, this is the part where you would be extending your lines from your floor plan to now create your elevation. Right, then we can just kind of create a line on here that will show where everything starts and where everything ends. Okay, so normally our roof height will have a specific angle. But let's start from the bottom. So here I'm just specifying that nothing goes above here, and if we ever need more space, we can always move everything, right? So let's just be safe. Let's start down here, and we said we have a floor height of 2,400, 2.4 meters. So we can offset that. We're still gonna create the foundation and stuff, so don't worry much about it. So here, this is just the floor to the roof. Okay, are we together? Are we clear? Right, then the next thing you're going to do is just to make sure that all the elements you're trying to represent here are represented there. I just realized I didn't copy the internal wall or the inner wall. It's not really internal, it's the inner wall. Alright, great. Then what's missing? Okay, so we have a wall here, wall there. Then we have a window on here. Then we have the edge of the roof, or the top edge. Then we have a window, then we have a door, then shop, no problem. Then now we're gonna call on our two pallets again, and this time we're gonna need them in elevation view. Okay, we still need them in metric. So door, we can put it over here. Window, do we need aluminium windows? Yeah, we can. I don't see why not. We can just get a tree for control. What else do we need? Is there anything else we need to show? Not really, not really. Okay, that's fine for now. Alright, then what's the size of this door? We can just click on it and then go to its properties so we can see. It's a layer. It has a 900 width, so we definitely need to work on that. We can make the width 750, and then we can make the height. Should I leave it as 1981? Let's make it 2032. Flip, what's this? Flipped, not flipped. It's fine, it changes nothing. Okay, then let's go to our window. Automatically it opens its properties because we were on properties, and the windows we have here are the big ones. I think it's 1500 windows, so we can extend it over here. Then the window height is 900. That's fine. So what you're gonna do, you can take your door, copy it, you can snap it right by the corner and match it with where your door is sitting. So your door somewhere here. Alright, and normally what happens is your door and your window will be at the same level. Just want to close that off. Your doors and your windows will be at the same level. So wherever your door is, or as high as your door is based on the specification you gave, that is where you're now gonna place your, that's where you're gonna place. So I just want to make sure that I'm consistent with my layers as I move along. Match prop, that's the door layer. Right, our doors are red. Then now we're gonna go on the windows layer just to make sure that I'm consistent. Source, there we go. Then we have two big windows to work with. I can copy, can snap it from the top because we will be pasting on the same wall or door height, not wall height. So the first window goes here, second window goes here. Right? Why does it look dodgy? Okay, that's it goes. Then on there we just have a wall. Then that's where you'll be starting with your roof. Okay, no problem. Then normally with your roof you would get a specification that your roof is slanted at a 26-degree angle or a 16-degree angle. I want to try if I remember this part. Because you angle measurement, enter new value. Let's see, requires 0 or 1 only. Let's see. Okay, let's try it manually with a line command. So remember your eave overhang is at this point, at the 300 line, and you're meant to match it to this line. So you already can see there's that block that shows you the angle. So let's try a 26. Is it a 26 though? Nah, let's go to the properties. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Let's try this again. Line. Oh, is that an 11 degree? Let's try 26 degrees. The problem is the snaps. The problem is that it's trying to snap, so we can turn off the midpoint snap just for this. Okay. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I'm sure there's a quicker way to do this, but I'm completely messing it up. How else do I do this? Or you can calculate. I think with the calculator is the best way to do it. If you have this width over here and you have the angle, I'm sure you're able to find the height on here. I don't know why I'm making my life so difficult, because this is essentially why we go to school, right? So I'll assume you'll use a calculator because mine is a bit far, but we're gonna assume that it's, let's delete this one, calculate it. Then we will assume that it is at a, let's say it's at this point. Let's say, for argument's sake, it's not there, but let's assume it's there. Okay, then you can just mirror it or copy it. It really is up to you. Alright, then since you have kind of sectioned it off, you would need to show your roof truss inside. So you essentially need to show a bit of your woodwork in there, or your timber, how your timber is behaving in there. So normally you would have an offset of like, is it 250 or 300? 300 for that, just to complete it off. We'll confirm the values. Remember, I'm still gonna post the memo and all. Then I think we should just proceed with that. 300, it is a bit hefty though. Let's try 100. Then we're just gonna paste this along suitable lines based on our eyes, but on this side it's looking dodgy. Yeah, we're just gonna try that. Okay, then we're gonna have some more that will kind of rotate. I'm sorry, there's a bit of noise from my office window, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Remember, you're just trying to make it look as neat as possible and as realistic as possible. Okay. Now I specified a wrong base point. I guess this is why people don't like doing live tutorials, because you have to struggle with this thing while people are watching you. But it's alright. You guys don't bite, do you? You guys do not bite. I can tell you that for free. You guys don't bite. You're not all the way harmless, but you don't bite. You would have bitten me ages ago by now. Hey. Okay, I'm just gonna fight with this roof and then I'll complete the video. But essentially, once you're done with the roof, then the next thing you're gonna do is essentially just section off your house from the rest of the construction lines that you would have had, and then you're gonna add your foundation part. So normally below your floor level you would have had a space of about a meter or less. Let's say a meter. Still looks a bit steep, and in this meter you would have had your foundation that is probably at a 450, and then you would have had your brickwork all the way up there. So wherever you have your wall, which is here, then you'll most likely have, let's say, that will be a 450 by 600. Let's have a bit of a center line there. We can just have a rectangle. Really, let's have a 600 by 450 by 600 by 450, and that will essentially be for your columns. Then we can just turn on your midpoint snaps again, because we're gonna copy this, everything, base point up top. There is no midpoint. I hate it when this happens. Just construct a mini line, copy it to the other side as well, so you have an actual midpoint to snap to. Remember, it's really hard for this thing to snap if there is no midline or midpoint. So you create a mini line that will essentially represent its midpoint. Now we can copy. I know, this looks like a lot of work, but job, okay, and the rest of it will be a wall. So what you can do is to kind of create polylines so that you can have enclosed boundaries. Because remember, the end, we're gonna need to hatch this whole place out. Then we can create like a spline that will essentially show our earthworks. I'll show you why we need this in a second. Yes, enter. There we go. Then we're gonna create one last polyline that will represent our wall. And we're gonna have another wall here. Then between your wall and your truss, you would have a wall plate. Obviously my dimensions might be slightly off because we're creating as we go, but you're essentially trying to create a bit of a buffer between yourself and the roof truss. And I'm saying yourself like you are the roof, you are the wall, sorry. The wall is you and you are the wall. And then we're just gonna have a line over here. Okay, then what we can do, we can risk it. Remember, I'm still gonna come back and fight with the roof, right? It's up to how you want your design to be. So there isn't really one way to go about it. Then what you can do, you can remove all your hidden detail and see if you if you're in support of what you're seeing over there. Then you can remove these ones as well. And then the spline, we would need to create like a line. We need it to be a boundary. So from here to there we can close it off, and then from here to there we can close it off. Then next we can hatch. Then we're gonna look for, let me just open the whole thing, and C32 for your wall. I think there was a window on the other side that I did not insert. Let's have a look. There is definitely a window on here. So on here, essentially gonna extend this and copy it so we know base point, so we know how high our window is. And we're essentially gonna create a polyline on here. because in that position we don't have a wall, it's a window. Then we can create this to represent a window. And that's that. And next we can hatch. And then that would be it. I'll just hatch, and all the best. Fancy 32 to hatch my wall. And we are looking for concrete for our foundation. Then we're looking for brick wall. For that small brick wall they've constructed between your actual wall and your foundation. Then we're gonna look for earthworks. Do they have it? Yes, they should. Then you can insert earthworks on there, and that will essentially be how you go about constructing your sectional plan. Ignore the roof, I'm still gonna fight with it, but that will essentially be how you construct or draw your sectional elevation. Then dimension it, label it, give it a title, give it a scale, and you are done.